This is what you got to deal with when you're in the lab. Maestro, hit me with that intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BoldENBrass. I am your music educator, Mr. Bolden. And on this fun Friday, I would like to give you guys 5 fun practices that you can implement in your practice time. But before we start, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. So without further ado, let's get started with practice number 1. So with best practice number 1, you want to always make sure that you're prepared. That's Boy Scouts motto. Troop 1008. Being prepared is essential to practicing, mainly because there's no point in having an instrument out or practicing on your vocals if you don't even know what you're trying to practice. And it doesn't make any sense. My baby's crying right now. Anyway, you want to make sure that you have an adequate practice time. And let me tell you this right now, 5 and 10 minutes is not enough practice time. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you should be just getting done with your warm-up. On average, you should be able to practice for 30 minutes. Also, in being prepared, you want to make sure that you have the music that you're going to practice. I would prefer 2 or 3 different sheets of music. There are a lot of students I know who tend to take on the same piece of music every time they practice. And what ends up happening is that they don't end up challenging themselves, which then causes them to ultimately get bored. This is why I would suggest having 2 or 3 sheets of music, preferably music that you're either practicing for UIL, solo and ensemble, or just a concert. This goes for not just band, but orchestra and choir as well. Also in the sense of preparedness, you want to already have your section laid out within your sheet music that you're going to practice over. Practicing music can get real annoying when you're constantly running through the whole sheet of music and then you're saying that you're practicing. No, man. Pick a section of music, typically a difficult section, and practice that for maybe 10 to 15 minutes before moving on to the next sheet of music. And lastly, in our love of preparedness, you want to always keep a bottle of water. So warm up, practice for 30 minutes, make sure you have your sheet music, have your sections marked off, and drink agua. We cool? Let's move to best practice number 2. When you're practicing, you want to always make sure to have good posture. Because when you're sitting up straight and you're singing or playing your instrument, air can flow freely from your diaphragm. Now, when practicing proper posture, you want to make sure that your body is erect, that your bottom is at the edge of your chair, and when you're getting ready to play, you have your horn up as so. When you're playing, if you're leaning back like this, none of the air, it'll be a whole lot more difficult for the air to actually come up, and you'll be actually working a whole lot harder compared to if you are in correct posture. So correct posture is your feet are flat on the floor. They're not all slouched out and leaning out like that, and you're not looking lazy. You're sitting at the edge of your chair, and your back is erect like so. Cool? Move practice number 3. At all times, make sure to stay inspired. What inspired me to join the band was when my mentor told me that I can get a scholarship at any college that I wanted to in music. Why does that hold so much power? Well, because of the fact that I never thought that I'd be able to even get into college. It wasn't until my band director told me that I could get a scholarship to any college that I wanted to, which caused me to be inspired. Hence the reason why I ended up going to Jackson State University and getting a full scholarship there. That's what inspired me. Now, what inspires me may not inspire you. It may be the fact that your mom or your dad may play an instrument, and you want to follow in their footsteps. It might have been an orchestra that you have seen, or it may have been a famous singer that you heard that caused you to want to continue on practicing. Whatever it is, keep that in your heart so that you can continue on getting better and better. Don't have a quitting attitude, because there ain't nothing worse than wasted talent. Best practice number 4. In staying inspired. Let that be the reason why you hold yourself accountable as well. Practicing is like working out. It's easy to miss a day, but it gets real hard when you got to make that day up. And the more days that you miss, the more days you start pulling away from that one talent that God blessed you with. I know some of you guys are in school, so it's kind of hard to find a time to actually practice during school time and your practice times that you have when it comes to extracurriculars. But find 30 minutes out of your day to make sure that you get some kind of practice in. And for those who are first chair, this should be the time that you should continue practicing, if not practicing even harder. And understand something, practicing doesn't necessarily mean getting on your horn or singing. Sometimes practicing can mean you just grabbing your sheet music and reading over it. Well, Mr. Bolden, people keep on complaining about my horn and how loud it is. Well, in the next episode, I'll teach you about practicing your instrument without having your instrument. And lastly, number 5, do some cardio. I'm about to do my 3-mile cardio workout. That's going to promote breathing. It'll help you to have better posture. For those who are struggling to hold your instruments, it'll build up your muscles and it'll sharpen your thinking skills for when you get that new piece of music. So there you have it, my 5 practices for this Friday. Be prepared, practice posture, be inspired, be accountable, and practice cardio. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like this video, go on ahead and hit that like button. Also subscribe, share my video with others. And for more content, hit that notification bell. Until we see each other again next week, y'all be blessed this weekend. Stay safe and stay loved. Peace and much love to you.